Okay, we got our popcorn. We're ready. What's going to happen next? Solomon, the land's divided, so you start watching and oh no, it's like the dark season. You ever watch these dramas? There's usually a season that just things are bad, and that's what this one is. It's the dark season, and you're just watching and these kings are bad and things are messing up. These kings are bad and things are messing up and things are bad and the kings keep messing up, and then boom, you have one of those episodes that everyone's talking about the next day. Can you believe it? Israel, the northern kingdom, gets so bad and things are so bad that the main character lets the Assyrians, this savage, very conquering nation from the north, come down and conquer them. And you're watching going, oh no. 722 AD is a game changer on our Bible life timeline. Because on that day, there's no more Israel. There's no more northern kingdom. It's under the control of a foreign nation. Now think about that with me. What does that mean to the story? How is God going to fulfill his promise in the land when the people aren't even there? In fact, the Assyrians' their policy when they conquered the land was to bring in their own people to start intermarrying with them. And that's why you had rise up in the nation of Israel, you had this place called Samaria rise up. Because Samaria is the people who were half Jews and half Assyrians who started intermarrying. And you're thinking, how's God going to bless this and dwell with his people when we're not even sure who his people are? And Judah in the south, they don't want anything to do with them. Them foreigners up there. What are we going to do with them? And you're like, how's this story? This story can't end anymore. Why am I even watching this? Oh, that's right. There's Judah. There's Jerusalem. The Jerusalem where the temple still is. Well, I guess maybe I had it wrong. Maybe the land shrunk. But there's still land. And there's still a king of David on the throne. So maybe things are going to be okay. And you start watching more episodes. And there's some good ones. You watch the episode with Hezekiah and you say, Hezekiah, you're following God. Good. Maybe it's through you, the son of David, who God's going to establish that kingdom because he's still there in the temple. God's presence is still there. But Hezekiah does a crazy thing. He asked to live longer. We would think that would be a good thing. And God granted it to him. But unfortunately, he has a son during that time. If he would have died when he was supposed to, it might have actually been better. Sometimes be careful what you ask for. Because he has a son called Manasseh. And Manasseh's dark. Oh, you come and watch the episode on Manasseh and you're appalled. That popcorn's struggling in your stomach as you watch a man take a baby and sacrifice that baby alive to his God. What kind of sick human being is Manasseh to offer children up as sacrifices to his God? The land's become defiled. God's disgusted, and you're going, oh, it's never going to end. Even when good King Josiah comes along, it's not enough. God says it's not enough. And then you have the season finale. 586 BC. It's the season finale. Here they come. The war drums of Babylon. They're coming. King Nebuchadnezzar's a warrior, and he's strong, and he comes to Judah. He comes to Jerusalem, and he lays siege to the city of God. The city of David, the city where God's presence is. And he wipes it out. And he destroys the temple. You feel faint? You gotta be kidding me. No people, no land, no presence of God, no king anymore. We got nothing. I'm telling you, we got nothing. How's the story going to end? remember some good things. You remember some good things, so you come back and you go, oh, that's right. Again, do you remember during those episodes, they had those little scenes in the middle of this episode that didn't really have much to do with the plot. They just kind of got thrown in there. And you didn't realize till later on that maybe they have some meaning. Well, that's what we have in the Bible. But before we get that, we remember probably one of the saddest verses in the Old Testament comes out of the book of Ezekiel. Because before Nebuchadnezzar comes, God's glory leaves. God didn't get destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar. He took care of business. But God's gone. He's not dwelling with his people anymore. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to remember some of those episodes where God promised good things. In the middle of all these spiraling down, you had these people who call it the prophets rise up. Now, the problem is we sometimes read the story of the prophets separate from the rest of the story. You know, if you've read your Bible, read, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, and we read those stories of the kings and God's glory and the Babylonians coming. And then when we're all done with that, now we're going to go read Isaiah. Now we're going to go read Ezekiel. Now we're going to go read Malachi. Now we're going to go read Habakkuk. And we should be reading those as we're reading the story because the prophets were living during that time. And when the kings are doing the bad, the prophets are saying, boys, you're going to get it. Turn or burn. Didn't know they were Baptist preachers, but they were. Talk to me afterwards if you're Baptist. I love you. But anyway, so, What? Oh, but in the midst, we always think of the prophets as bad. Those angry prophets, they're always mad. Yes, because they wanted righteousness. They wanted to turn because they knew it was going to happen. And it did happen. But if you read the prophets, you'll always see that there's a glimmer of hope in them. And there's these little scenes in the episodes where you have Jeremiah coming on saying, behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant. Oh, that's right, they're those old covenants, but he's going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. And no longer shall each one teach his neighbor and each one his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall know me, declared, from the least of them to the greatest, declares the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. Right. There's hope. And then you go on and you see Ezekiel says, I will sprinkle clean water on you, and you shall be clean from all your uncleanness. And from all your idols I will cleanse you. And I will give you a new heart, and a new spirit I will put within you. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes and be careful to obey all my rules. His spirit? Wow. How did I miss all these promises? I will make a covenant of peace with them. Is this part of the new covenant? It's called a covenant of peace, an everlasting covenant with them. Oh, this sounds like those unconditional covenants. It's not going to be conditional like if you obey me, I'll do it. It's going to be an everlasting one. And I will set them in their land and multiply them. The land, there's the land again. And I will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forever. Oh, the temple is going to come back. Woo-hoo! I'm getting excited again. Are you guys getting excited? I want to watch the show. My dwelling place shall be with them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. All right. All right. It's starting to go good again, maybe, sort of. No, it's not. There's still no land. There's still no people. There's still no temple. There's still no son on the throne. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Oh, that's right. I remember those other episodes. They kept talking about this guy who's coming. Did you catch those in those episodes? He would just randomly, you're reading like, you're going to burn, don't do it, stop. Oh, yeah, there's a guy coming. Pay attention. Oh, yeah, you're going to burn. Hey, there's going to be a suffering servant, but okay, you're going to burn. What? You have passages like this in Psalm. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. That word anointed, if you don't know it, in the Hebrew, Mesach, it's the Messiah. You can read it against the Lord and against his Messiah. Who's the Messiah? What, is this David? Is this one of the sons? Who is this? And then he goes on, he says in this psalm, I will tell of the decree. This is God saying, you are my son. Today I've begotten you. God's talking about a son. He's talking about Messiah. Who is this guy? Isaiah, you have this whole thing of a suffering servant. You read a passage like, all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him. Who? The iniquity of us all. Who? Some people will say, well, that's obviously talking about the nation as a collective whole. How can the nation as a collective whole who has the sin bear the sin? This has to be a person. Who is this guy? I got to keep watching. I don't know about you. I got to. Let's go get some more popcorn. Let's just watch this. Let's figure out how this story's going to end. And so we come and now we have the restoration. We have these books, Ezra and Nehemiah. All right. I go back over. I'm watching my shows like, yes. There's their way to go. You're getting the people back in the land. You're building the temple. Woo, the temple's being built. All right, it's becoming a good show again. I'm getting a little revived. I'm even going to stay up past 10 o'clock to watch this episode. Okay, and you're getting excited and then, but something's missing. Ezra builds the wall, the temple. Nehemiah builds Jerusalem, the city of David. But what's missing? You wait for that episode. You keep waiting for that episode. When's the glory going to come? When's the glory going to come? God's got to show back up. God's got to show back up. And you keep waiting. And okay, maybe it's at the season finale. So you watch the season finale. It doesn't happen. We got to wait 400 summers for the next episode. Come on. I don't know about you, but I'm like, this is wearing me out. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm in too far. You ever done that? You ever watch a horrible movie and you're like, 3/4 of the way in, I'm going to just gut it out. Let's just do it. I don't know how this is going to end, but hey, I'm in this deep. Might as well drown with it.